Hey there and welcome back to my 100 video challenge. Today is day 13 of 100 and here I am recording another video about SEO. And today I'm going to talk about one lesson I learned from implementing AI and for my SEO, and when it went very wrong, when it failed miserably, and what I learned from it, and how I've, you might say, evolved since that. So in early 2020, when these automated content creating techniques and tools and software and basically AI started to appear on the scene, I decided to purchase a domain in a space that I was familiar with, which is the food space, and I decided to create a site around tea. And basically I created around 500,000 words on my website of content generated by AI. And I talk about this a lot on I actually have a full webinar going through what happened in this experience on one of my programs. But what happened was, basically, I set up this website, I started to rank for these keywords. I was very excited because I had already experience in the beverage and food and beverage space online in regards to content and SEO. And I basically started ranking for these keywords. And then after about 6 months, there was a very important update, and Google did do some updates to their algorithm. There was obviously a rollout of identifying spammy websites and identification of some of these AI content creator watermarks, and my website went from a growing line, just like precipice, and it went down, basically to zero. You know, I think I was at like maybe a couple of thousand clicks a month, and I went to like a couple of hundred clicks a month. So I probably decreased by 1,000%, and it was a very miserable failure. Now, the good news is that I hadn't invested a ton of resources in the site, so this was a good pilot because I learned a very hard lesson, and this is what I'm going to talk about today. And from an SEO standpoint, it was probably a turning point for me, because before the AI boom, which we're seeing today and we've been seeing for the last year or two everywhere, you know, ChatGPT and all of these technologies, and you might say ads and stuff, you know, talking about AI, this was before then, and I learned this before this came out. So when I saw this, like you might say, this curve or this increase of people talking about AI, I already knew that there were like 3 ways, or I should say 4 ways, of approaching AI that organizations should take into account. It's one of the things we teach a lot on our SEO programs, is that there are 3 main ways that you can use AI for SEO, and they all have, you might say, pros and cons. The first is supervised AI for SEO, which means you are creating content with the assistance of AI, and it is 100% supervised by a human and monitored by a human, and the feedback is given by a human, and the final output is decided upon by a human. The second process is partially supervised by AI. This means where you can use AI for the majority of the process, and the human has a very important intervention, but doesn't supervise the full process. And I can give an example. You write the content brief, the AI creates the content. That is an example of partially supervised AI for SEO for content. And the third is unsupervised. Unsupervised AI for SEO, which, again, there are some technologies out there that claim this can be done. There are even some SEO gurus or experts who claim this can be done. Personally, I'm still yet to see this successful. I definitely think there is an upside opportunity, because obviously there is a huge cost involved in creating content, and using AI really facilitates that. But again, unless there is supervision and QA, then I do feel that currently there is a very difficult case for us to build around this being successful. Anyway, I learned that using unsupervised AI for my SEO, for my content, ended up in a very bad place. And today, since then, I've built, 4 or 5 websites for myself, and I think, half a dozen for other people. And we have used AI on some of the content creation processes, extremely supervised and monitored. And I think the key here is, removing the taboo from AI and talking about it honestly, about what it can and can't do, and really, you might say, driving QA and you might say reviews and supervision by humans to make sure that the content and that whatever it's producing is completely on point for what you want to achieve in regards to your SEO strategy and your SEO roadmap. But more importantly, have the parameters in place to know what is right and what is not. And this is what most businesses fail at. They don't know what they should be aiming at. And one of the, for example, a very basic parameter is AI score. So if you're creating content for AI for your website and you're not checking it to know what is the AI score of the content, what happens if you upload a bunch of content to your website and AI scores through the roof? We have an issue. So that is just a very, very basic way of measuring the impact, you might say the parameters that you can establish in your organization or with the technology you're using and with your team to make sure that whatever you're doing with AI, with content, is done well and is safe, and most importantly, you're within, you might say, the parameters of what you establish as considered a safe margin for your AI, for your content. Now, there are a lot of technologies and apps out there that are becoming extremely good at creating content and content outlines and frameworks using AI for SEO. Personally, I'm a big fan of supervised AI for SEO, and not even partial, because I do believe you need a human at every step of the process. And if you're looking at a 4-step process for creating content, which is, you might say, the ideation, keyword research, content clusters, brief, and then content production, and then obviously last publishing. But if you look at the 4 main processes, from keyword research and ideation to, you might say, clustering, and then briefing, and then producing, I believe those 4 steps should be supervised by a human and use the AI to facilitate some of the more tedious processes and of those, you might say, of those 4 steps. But for the sake of this video today, what I want to share with you is, that story about the website. And by the way, it's still online, the website. It's not really doing anything. Unfortunately, I haven't really, I should probably take it down. I haven't done. But I use it as a case study in our programs to kind of show, well, this is when things go wrong and this is where things go right, because we've had some very good success after and before, with creating content. And it's important that we are honest with where, what AI can and can't do. And most importantly, we learn from our failures and we lean into our successes to get better at the game. And so that our long-term SEO, organic visibility, plays out for our organizations, for our business, and make sure it's aligned with our strategy, so we reap the benefits of organic visibility. So that's the video for today, day 13 of 100. I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Goodbye.